Trapping plays a very important role in modern-day wildlife management. Professional wildlife biologists monitor fur-bearer populations to maintain a healthy and sustainable harvest of this important, renewable natural resource. Trapping provides recreation and income for licensed trappers across this country. Hoosier Trapper Outdoors is brought to you by Hoosier Trapper Supply. J3 Outdoors, manufacturer of the Hags Bracket and Body Trap Spring Clip. Leatherwood Creek Trapping Scents. Weeby Knives and Fur Handling Tools. HTS Productions. Hoosier Trapper Deer Scents. And Leatherwood Wildlife Art.
All right, welcome to episode 7, Hoosier Trapper Outdoors. Be another episode in New Mexico. And then I think there's one more episode for New Mexico, and then we'll go to our semi-live footage, which will be basically this current trapping season. Some of the footage will be within just a few days of when we actually film it to when it's released. So we're looking forward to bringing you that. Like I said, that's coming up here very shortly. We haven't set the trap yet, so it'll be very current once we get going on that. Want to thank everybody for the orders that they've placed. Really appreciate it. After all, that's what keeps this whole thing going. If you haven't checked out our website, check us out at HoosierTrapperSupply.com. And I think that's about it. So I hope you enjoy the show. Alrighty, check day 5. It's been 2 very, very slow days with a 0 catch. One night, complete wind, high winds all night long. Really didn't expect much that evening. I think the animals just kind of hunker down and they can't smell anything. Everything's swirled. But then last night, we connected on this coyote so far for check day 5. Then check day 4 was pretty good weather, so not sure what the deal was with that, but we didn't catch anything then either. So anyways, here again, check day 5, first coyote of the day, first catch of the day, and I mean, he's just kind of hanging out here, but we've got the point here of this, in this canyon here, beautiful spot here. And there's a cow trail that basically followed around the edge of this point. Got other sets back behind Justin, who's on the camera, and then I set one here on this point and connected with this coyote this morning. Nice pale coyote, and considering it's February 9th, I believe, he's still in pretty good shape. So actually he's in pretty decent shape, period. So not showing any effects of being caught too late. So anyways, nice coyote, nice pale coyote. Doesn't look like the same animal we have at home, that's for sure. So, a little lighter weight than those Indiana coyotes, that's for sure.
Got some fur on him.
Our coyotes in Indiana are probably 30% heavier.
Streak!
It's been pretty dismal the past couple days, so it's nice to see this today. Got this set was actually messed with a couple times, and it was a gray fox. So I just kept thinking, well, we'll finally catch him here, because the curiosity usually finally gets him. Well, a coyote evidently beat the gray fox here, so he's trying to hide in that hole he was just digging. But anyway, pretty cool. We'll get him taken care of and do the remake, and we'll show you that here in a second. But just kind of on the, there's a pretty good wash down behind me, and Justin and Adrian both had sets down there. I don't know, were those ever disturbed or bothered at all down there?
No, nothing.
This one's been messed with, like I said, a couple times by a gray. So anyways, connected on him last night. So we'll take him. Okay, we're gonna just turn this in kind of a glorified flat set. It's all, I can't get a hold its own without caving in here, so I'm gonna, real rocky here, so this definitely needs to be sifted out. All right, so what I'm going to do, since I don't have a hole, I'm going to put that right under there, like that. I can still smell it. Can't get out of it. I got to really work at it to get it out of there. So the top dog's under the rock. I'm going to take a little Vixen Elixir, which is what I had on here to begin with. This is some of that lava rock, so it's kind of real porous. Stick that right there. Little cat urine. And we're good to go. I'm not going to do any more to it than that. So.
Hags Trapping Products by J3 Outdoors, the most versatile and efficient trapping devices on the market.
Lip Licker Deer Lure. Success speaks for itself.
What do you think?
He messed my backstop up. A little bush.
How
Actually,
dare
he didn't even mess it up that bad, really. It's still there. All right, check day 5 still. Third coyote for the day. So after a couple pretty dismal days, we're connected today. So it's nice to see. This set right here, since we're on private, we can set the roads, and so it connected with this coyote. It was a basic dirt hole set. It was up against that what's left of it, that weed right there. Had a top dog, finicky feline, and bobcat urine on there. I think that's all I had on there. I might have put a little bit of long distance on there, but I can't remember. I don't smell it. And a lot of times with long distance, you can still smell it after you catch something. They got it stirred up or whatever. So, but anyways, connected with another nice coyote, New Mexico coyote. So get the set remade. There's 4 other sets right here. Standing right here, I'm not seeing anything in anything else, but I think, Adrian, you might have something behind that. Hopefully. All right, check day 5 still. Coyote number 4 for the day. Pretty awesome. We'll take it, especially after the past couple days we've had. This was, basically a dead-end canyon here. I mean, we got walls all the way around us. I think Adrian and I found a place that they could possibly come down if they wanted to back here. But my guess is they're probably coming in from the road and just hunting in these trees and stuff in here for, prey animals, birds and stuff. And it was kind of a dirt hole, but I had it
Decorated.
I had it decorated for Christmas. Had it decorated with some tinsel for bobcat appeal, but obviously that didn't bother him, and he came along but he tore my visual attractant down. So anyways, another nice coyote. The last one we caught wasn't so nice quality wise, but this is pretty decent. He's just hanging out. It's not just sitting there hanging out. Anyways,
Enjoy the sun.
Yeah, we'll take care of him. I'll show you the remake, and We only got one more location to check, and then we're done for the day. All right, so this is the remake on the coyote set. He pretty much tore everything up. It was originally a dirt hole, so I just made a flat set, put some coyote droppings here, pulled this cow pie over. I'm gonna put a little coyote gland right there. And I don't have any coyote urine on me, so I'm going to use Bobcat. But we're just going to put that like that. And that's it. So that's the remake on this set. It's not the original set, but it'll work just fine. So, well, I hope. So, good alternative. So it is nice to work with dirt that is not mud. And I feel bad for my Indiana peers right now because we're facing serious flooding at home. But anyways, that's the remake. All right, and to check day 5. Ended up being a pretty decent day. 4 coyotes. Can't remember the statistics. I think we got 35, 36 locations set. So anywhere from 2 to 4 traps per location. So obviously 4 different locations connected with coyotes. So
they're moving.
Yep, they were moving last night. Pretty happy with the results today. So
I didn't have much action except for cows. I had some cow visits, and that's about it.
Yep, same here.
Yesterday I got the rancher's dog.
Yep.
And he released it unharmed.
Yep, everything went on just fine. And we saw him last evening, and they were all standing there on the back of his truck. So, no big deal.
So next step, start skinning.
Yep, got to skin these guys. So.
Hopefully, I'm not sure what the weather's going to do, but I bet it's going to be pretty similar to what's going on now for tomorrow. Maybe they'll run good again tomorrow. So
we've got a slight overcast going. The wind, which is pretty common anyways, and I think, so.
It's supposed to be not sunny all day tomorrow.
Okay.
Of what
you're hearing.
Yeah, but no one knows.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll get these guys skinned up and see what happens tomorrow.
I've been a professional trapper for over 40 years, and in that time, I've skinned literally thousands of animals. I've learned that it doesn't matter how cool a knife looks on your hip. What really matters is sharpness and reliability. And that's why I created the Weeby Wicked Sharp line of replacement blade knives. These are knives that will quickly skin your critters without skinning your wallet. Visit WeebyKnives.com to get the new Monarch folding knife with 3 replacement blades for just $19.95. Weeby Knives, Wicked Sharp.
Top dog predator bait. Success speaks for itself.
Product highlight, Ringtail Roundup. And this used to be our Raccoon 101, kind of a boring name, so just change it to Ringtail Roundup. Obviously a raccoon lure. It will work. It'll actually work on muskrats and beavers and other stuff too, but it's primarily a raccoon lure. So you can just use this right on the top of your dog proof. Say you put cat food or miniature marshmallows or whatever in your dog proof, and then just put a little bit of this on the top rim. This actually has a sweet taste to it, so it won't bother a raccoon if he actually tries to lick it or whatever. If it's on the top of a dog proof. So it's very sweet, very permeating smell. I remember one time I had this on the dash of my truck, and a little bit got down in the heater, and I was smelling that stuff for weeks. I mean, it was super permeating, super just lingers for a long, long time. So it's good stuff. So anyways, good, sweet attractant for raccoons. All right, question and answer. Got 3 here I'm going to address. 1, somebody asked about salt, wax traps, that kind of thing to keep your traps from freezing up. And we use salt. For those of you who've watched us for over the years, you've seen us use the little 1-pound containers of salt with the flip top on them. Very convenient. Iodized salt, no problem. It works just fine. You do need rust. It will rust your traps, so you want to make sure that you get your traps waxed, or certainly after the season, get them really cleaned up good, or it will continue to rust until the next time you go to look at your trap. So that's important to keep in mind if you're using salt. Another option is propylene glycol. It's a liquid. We sell it. That's a good freeze, antifreeze as well. Ideally, peat moss cover hulls, those work great. Most trappers use that stuff in the wintertime. Sometimes you still need to use salt on your trap bed because the moisture coming up from the ground. If the sun comes out during the day, sometimes that moisture will come up from the ground and then freeze at night. So that's the reason for that barrier of salt first in your trap bed. Ideally, if you got time to make it, wax dirt is your best bet, because it beds nice, and water runs right off of it. That's your best bet. Of course, a lot of people don't get it made or don't have time to make it, or whatever. So coveralls, peat moss, and then some sort of antifreeze like salt, calcium chloride, propylene glycol. Those will all work. The thing about the peat moss that you'll run, or the thing about the coveralls that you run into, they're very light. They don't, trap doesn't bed in them very well, so you'll need to sift some dirt over the top to keep them from blowing away. So you want to carry in some dry dirt in a bucket at least to blend the area, and also to hold your coveralls in place. Another question that we had was the loose jaw on the trap. They just got some new traps. I think it was a Duke number 2 with the 4 coils, and sometimes when you 4 coil a trap, it wants to force that loose jaw up just very, very slightly. And it's, in the scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. Ideally, it'd be nice if it was level. But basically, when you make your set, just compensate for that loose jaw being, I mean, we're talking about a fraction of an inch when they're sticking up. If it's more than that, then you have to deal with it, but which can be kind of a pain. But in general, if that loose jaw is slightly above the other jaw, don't sweat it. It's fine. The biggest thing is to make sure the pan is below the jaws, level or below the jaws of the trap. That's the most important thing. So I don't think I'd lose too much sleep over that if it's just slightly above the fixed jaw. The fixed jaw being the one that the dog is across to hold, so to set the trap. The last question is how to use lip liquor. And this really kind of applies to lip liquor, doe and heat, or whitetail gland, that kind of thing. So, big thing. Put it on the ground where you have clear shooting lanes. This is deer lure. Put it on the ground where you have clear shooting lanes. So when the deer stops, you've got a shot. You can put it directly on the ground. If there's a stump there, you can squirt it on the stump. You can put it on a wick or piece of material and put it right there on the ground. 1, 2, 3 options is great. And then you always want to put some on a piece of material or wick where it is up off the ground, so that it gets out in the wind, so that it'll travel further. When it's up, obviously off the ground, the scent carries much further than when it's actually on the ground. So very simple, but that's just kind of the basic way to use it as an attractant. And lip liquor is a straight up attractant. It's not something you want to put on yourself. You don't want the deer looking up in the tree at you. So anyways, that's good. Good way to use it as an attractant. So hope that helps. Hope that helps answer your questions, and be sure to continue to send questions in, and we normally try to answer them right away by either email or on the YouTube channel, and then we'll address them on the show so other people could benefit from the questions that are asked. So thanks for sending them in.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We have the new Hoosier Trapper Supply catalogs out. Pretty cool bobcat there. Jake caught there in New Mexico. Pretty nice. They're available. You can call here at the shop at 317-881-3075, or you can request one online at HoosierTrapperSupply.com. It's right there on the home page. Hit the button, and we'll send you one in the mail. So pretty slick. Also, gotta say, make sure you're following us on all social media so you can keep up to date. We do have an email newsletter you can sign up for on the website as well. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, obviously YouTube. And on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, so that will keep you posted on brand new episodes that pop up, not just on Hoosier Trapper Outdoors, but also on the Fur Shed series and also the Trap House podcast. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Join us on November 8th for the next episode of Hoosier Trapper Outdoors.